I live back in the woods, you see, just my woman and my kids and my dog and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. A country boy can survive. Well, you can't make us pay taxes and you can't run us out. And I don't know any more of these lyrics about. But a country boy can survive. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to 7 Minutes in Heaven. Welcome back inside of me. It's been a long time since you've been inside of me. Been a long time since you've been inside of me. Since last Wednesday, I believe. Sometimes that break is too long. You know, going from Wednesday all the way to Monday again. For me, at least. You guys are like, I could deal with 2 less podcasts a week, Evan. But the truth is, sometimes I'm just like, by the time Sunday's rolling around, I'm like, do I even have a podcast anymore? Feels like ages since I put one out, you know? But it is what it is. Welcome. Welcome to Monday, you know? Weird fucking weather. Weird fucking weather. It was hot as shit yesterday. Then at night, looks like a werewolf running around. Looks like a werewolf running around. Mist, fog. In the distance. Weird shit. Weird times. It's a weird fucking year because we kinda, anything is possible, you know? Like fucking, what was his name? Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible. That's how I feel about 2020. Anything could happen right now. And you'd be like, yeah, unicorns come back. Oh, God is real. And Jesus just is just like, the fuck have you guys been doing? You guys have been watching so much porn, gay sex, and eating shrimp. That last one was really for the Bible thumpers out there, or the people who at least Googled things that have been mentioned more than not to do than gay sex. That's literally in the Bible that you should. It mentions more times that you shouldn't have. You shouldn't eat shrimp more than you should be gay. That's how fucked up it is. Let people be gay. You know, it's 2020. People are way past that. Not to get controversial straight out the gate bars. People are way past just being like gay is, it's nothing anymore. It shouldn't be, you know? But people are on to the next one. It doesn't even raise eyebrows anymore. People are like, oh, you only identify as a human? Lame. Oh, you're just a man or a woman? Lame. That's weird. Oh, you're only your age right now? Lame. Lame. I feel like people like meatheads and gym rats have been identifying as animals for a long time. They're just like beasts, fucking lions. That's the thing is I think secretly there's a demographic among us that wish they were furries more than they really understand. Like you understand the same person who refers to themselves as a beast in the gym. I'm an alpha. I'm a fucking lion and I hunt. Okay, I hunt for my food. I'm a fucking alpha lion. Got a big ass mane. Even though in the lion kingdom, it's the women who hunt. Okay. So get your fucking, you ignorant, misogynistic prick. Get your lion kingdom facts right. Okay. Go watch Lion King and get back to me. Pause the podcast. Go watch the live action one. But that's all it is. You believe in you. I'm a fucking silverback, bro. I'm a fucking silverback. Oh, you only eat lettuce and are 450 pounds? That's cool. Fucking silverback. Oh, you take shits and throw it at people? That's cool. Didn't know that about you. Because that's the thing. Just like fucking Aladdin said to Jafar at the end of Aladdin when he was like, you want to be a genie? Well, you got to have everything that comes with it. And he fucking shackles Jafar at the end. Great twist at the end. Great twist. Back when Disney stories, they were like, we really got to write this fucking story. If you want to be a lion, you want to be a fucking silverback gorilla or an alpha. Listen, I'm a wolf pack. You better go be a fucking wolf pack, okay? You better be out there living in the forest, foraging and shit, howling at the moon. I want to see it all. You can't pick and choose. That's what's interesting about people who just choose to be something else. It's like, oh, now you're identify as a 6-year-old little girl and this family's going to adopt you. Pretty convenient when tax season comes around. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a 6-year-old girl now. My bad. I'll catch you on the next one. Maybe you'll catch me as Harry, the 65-year-old grown man, works as an engineer. That's real shit. There's real stories like that. People out there identifying as 6-year-old kids. Try going to Chuck E. Cheese. That's like you want to play games. Try going to Chuck E. Cheese. See if they let you in when you say that. They're going to be like, yeah, sir, wait over here while we call the police. Rightfully so. I'm not down for that. I'm down for the furries, though. I don't give two shits if people want to dress up and pretend they're animals. They start getting a little wacky. There was that one furry convention. I forgot where it was. But they had a furry convention, and they were like, just a heads up to the hotel staff. They were like, we're going to be putting some litter boxes and shit in the bathrooms. Just a heads up, just FYI, that if, the maid comes in, sees a litter box full of human shit, don't worry, we're just doing our thing. Huh? What? You think you can just shit in a litter box at a hotel? But I think that they had no choice. You can't really stop someone from getting a litter box and shitting in the bathroom. There's no laws posted in hotel bathrooms that you can't shit in a litter box and then scoop it to the toilet after. You do whatever the fuck you want in a hotel. Listen, shitting in a litter box and dropping it in the toilet after, that's got to be the last thing that hotel staff is worried about finding in a hotel. That would be a great podcast. I would love having someone who's worked at a hotel for like 20 years. Someone who worked at a hotel maybe in the early like 90s like around there. I feel like it was just more of a wild, wild west of people not being held accountable for doing some weird shit. The stuff that must be insane. Because people would always ask me, I worked in restaurants for a long time. And people would always ask me, what are the craziest stories you have about waiting tables? Like, I always love going places and be like, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened here? Just my favorite question to ask someone working. And people usually have it ready to go. If you're ever traveling and you go into a weird place or something interesting, just ask them, hey, what's the craziest thing that ever happened here? It's always going to be entertaining. No one ever, I'm trying to think of an example of somewhere I've done that at. I've asked like at laser tag places, anywhere that's just not fucking Whole Foods or Ross, or Home Depot. Home Depot could be fun too. People have done some crazy shit there. You don't want to ask at massage parlors or, I just feel like that's bad taste because you're gonna bring up someone's Me Too. Some poor massage therapist would be like, well, crazy thing that happened was this dude just pulled out his dick while I was working on the tension in his shoulders. I'm like, oh, my bad. I feel like laser tag, people, I think it was like someone just threw up and passed out. Always weird stuff like that. You ever been at a laser tag arena and then the lights come on in the middle of the game and then it's just like, bah, 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 and then you see what it looks like without all like the techno lights and all the fog and you're like, what the fuck is happening? The Russians. TikTok, they fucking finally got us. China's here. And then they're like, please make your way to the loading gate. And then you go over there and there's like a missing kid or one little kid shit himself. No offense to that little kid. I don't want to shit myself in a public place. That shit was terrible. I actually made a story time about it when I shit myself at Hoover Dam. Shit was rough. Trapped underground. There's nothing like being trapped underground having to take a shit, ladies and gentlemen. They'll bust you up. You're going to have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time. Yeah. Not to get too graphic, but that's one of those things where like, I only like going number 2 at my place. For one, I got a bidet. Okay. Life changes when you have a bidet. Okay. You don't want to be a fucking peasant. That was the hardest thing when I finally got a bidet was how fucking dry my mouth got from spitting on peasants when I would walk down the street. That's a hack joke. Okay, someone said that about AirPods in a meme, and I stole it. I'm admitting it right there. I stole that joke. I reworked it to be mine. I'm sorry. Stealing bars. Yeah, if you don't have a bidet, they're not even a sponsor. I should try to get them to be a sponsor. But a bidet, listen, I have one that's like $30-$40 off Amazon. Changed my motherfucking life. It's paid for itself, especially with the peace of mind of being in a pandemic. I got it right before the pandy hit. The peace of mind when everybody's freaking out, counting their fucking plies of toilet paper trying to stretch a 2-ply into one. Be like, we can double our inventory if we split all these. And then you're fucking policing the bathroom. You got it locked up, ball and chain, just behind fucking glass. Alarm system. If someone goes to grab toilet paper in the middle of the night, you're like, what are you doing? I trusted you. They're like, I got a shit. Taco Bell will bust you up. That's the thing also. Eating, you always, in that department, you always got to plan ahead. You're like, okay, I'm about to get some Del Taco right now. What am I doing the next 24 hours? Can't be mountain climbing, no rock climbing or going underground at Hoover Dam. You know? You got to be careful with that. But it was the peace of mind of being in a pandemic, having a bidet. Isn't that crazy? I will stop and just think about certain parts of this pandy. And I'm just like, what the fuck actually? This is real life. That we had a toilet paper shortage. A lockdown hit. And I get it. But it was like I don't even think it was in the lockdown. It was when we were like hush whispers of this disease is going to be chaotic and insane. Everybody bought out all the toilet paper. And that's the thing is like a lot of people try to say the CDC overreacted. They didn't tell you to go buy all the toilet paper. And for sure, they didn't tell you to buy masks. That's why everybody's like, well, they didn't even say masks would be effective in the beginning. That's because you prove them right with everybody just rushed out to buy masks because they want to make sure that the people who need it the most, healthcare workers, were able to protect themselves. They didn't tell anybody, listen, go buy all the fucking frozen boneless wings you can, get all the toilet paper, and hoard it. Make sure you get a lot. Make sure you have enough to last you the next 3 years because we're probably going underground for that long. How stupid do people have to feel who still have about 400 rolls? You know there's someone who's hunkered down with like 400 rolls of toilet paper. Listen, people make bad financial decisions all the time. There was someone who spent probably their life savings. There has to be at least one person in the United States that did this. Everything they had on fucking toilet paper right in the beginning because they were like, the demand for this in a couple months, it's going to be through the roof. Buy it all at Costco. And he probably sent his wife to do it also. He bought the max that he could get without looking. They were driving all around to different Costco's and he was sending her in. And she's like, hey, honey, I just don't know if fiscally this makes sense right now. Maybe we should get some food. We're going to be eating caviar and shrimp in 2 months. Don't talk to me about fucking food. Let the fucking peasants get all the rice. I stocked up on rice. Listen, I'm Puerto Rican. I need that rice. And you know what was beautiful? Costco put a non-return policy on everything that was like bought during that time. No returning toilet paper. Because you know what? You play stupid fucking games, you win stupid fucking prizes. Bars. One of my favorite sayings right now. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Step right up. Da-da-da-da-da. Bars. Someone lost so much money. There's someone who is literally eating just dry rice because they can't even afford water now. Water was shut off because they spent all their money on toilet paper. Wow. What a world we live in. What a world we live in. There's a lot of people, I don't know if you guys know about the whole Bitcoin fiasco, cryptocurrency, but there's people in 2017. I wish I got out when it was at its peak because your boy had some money in it. Didn't lose too much. I'm still in it, so I didn't lose too much. But there's people who bought it at the peak before it dropped. And you know what some of those people did? They killed themselves. And you know what? Good. We don't need you. Get the fuck out. You can't handle losses. I'm just kidding. It's very sad. Very sad. Rest in peace. But they lost all their money. They invested everything. Some people lost their homes, their savings. Bloop, put it all the way up at the top. Sold it. Or, it dropped completely. Bottom fell the fuck out. They lost everything. That was like during that's what's insane is I'm just like, I don't have that in me. Where if something bad happens, I just go, fuck it. There's no coming back from this. I would have to just be ahead. Like my body gone and I'm just ahead and I'm like, I'm either going to have to try to be a professional bowling ball, or there might not be any coming back from this. You know, I honestly, even at that, I would even think I would try. I'd be like, you know what? Stick me in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland and let me be one of those heads on the tombstones. And I'll just perform for the rest of my life. This is all I got, okay? And I'll just be one of those heads and I'll just be like, this is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. That was festive. That was festive for you guys. Getting close to spooky season. But there was like during the, was it 2008 market crash? If you haven't seen The Big Short, that is a phenomenal movie about how the market crashed and all the loans that they gave out, the housing loans, which made it crash. But there was guys, they invested everything and they lost everything. And some people, they killed their kids and then killed themselves. They're like, I fucked up so bad, their future's fucked up. Start over. Just hoping. They believe in, what is it when you believe that you'll come back in a different form? Anybody? Bueller? I know someone's screaming right now. But that, they're like, we're going to fucking come back as pheasants or something. Give this another try. And then they show up as a pheasant in the next life. And they're like, God damn it, I live on a pheasant farm. Pheasant farms are real people. That's actually I went on a hunt and it was like a lottery thing when I got my hunter safety. It was like, it's free to enter this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I put in for the lottery to win a free pheasant hunt, like a guided hunt. I'm like, all right. And I won it and I could bring one person. So I brought my buddy that we went through hunter training together or hunter safety and got our hunting licenses together and everything. And I was like, this is dope. We're going out to, where is that? It's like kind of near Big Bear in the desert. I'm like, I didn't know there was pheasant around there, but okay. You know, you learn something new every day. Get out there. And it was like, I see a big truck. We got there early. There's a big truck with cages on the back of it with like blankets over it. And I'm like, the fuck is that? And then I can see in the corner of one of them, there's fucking pheasants in the cages. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I realize it's like a planted pheasant hunt where they bring these pheasants out and it's they're just going to let them go in the bushes and then you're going to walk through these bushes and wait for them to fly and then they're going to shoot them. What? And my buddy and I were like, oh shit, this is like the Toys R Us of pheasant hunting. Like there's a reason why it was free and it was like just to give you, you know, it's like going to a hooker for you to lose your virginity. You're like, this one's got this one in the can, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the technicality off of you. So it's not a shutout. And we went with this dude. He was like, I signed up for these 3 times a year. I always get these. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do this more than once? I got there and I'm like a T-Rex. I want to hunt for my food. Okay? I don't want a fucking planted pheasant. And not only that, some of those places, they like make the pheasants dizzy. So they're like, ooh, kind of out of it. And then they just like kind of fly all weird. Shot one out of the sky. It was too easy. Why the fuck is my computer turning off right now? Too easy. Don't want to go on another pheasant hunt. I do want to go hunting though. I want to eventually get off the factory farming teat, you know. I give vegans a lot of shit. And they gave me a lot of shit by getting me fucked up on Instagram, shadow banned. Very cool vegans. I'm kind of over Instagram though. I've let go of it. When I first got in trouble on Instagram for bullying vegans, it bugged me. And I was like, this is like where I'm growing my podcast, comedy. Like it's a big deal. But I'm like, I moved past it. I'm like, I'm not going to let some fucking social media platform dangle my following or anything in front of me and be like, you gotta learn how to play nice. Fuck them. Fuck the vegans. I'm just kidding, vegans. I'm actually about to pay you a compliment. I do see a lot of the mindset behind if you're a vegan, you know, because you just love animals, you don't want to be part of that process, you know, intelligent animals. I know there's a lot of beliefs on that with pigs and these really smart animals and the cruelty behind it. Listen, there's a lot of cruelty. I think factory farming is terrible. I hate that I'm part of it. A necessary evil right now, but I try to get, grass fed and, free range when I know that free range means something different. But my fantasy, just like Ludacris, is to eventually only have vegetables that I grow. It's going to be kind of hard to do that. I'll go to the farmer's market and shit. And then just meat that I either catch or hunt, And that's the goal. Maybe get because I love steak. Beef, listen, beef is phenomenal. I love chicken. And if I can eventually get to the point where I'm like getting it from like a farm or something like that, because I found out this crazy statistic that if you get a hamburger from like a fast food restaurant, there's something like 80 different cows of meat going into one hamburger. So it's like you're not getting one piece of meat. You're getting all the bacteria and all the shit from like 80 different cows that are factory farmed. There's some weird shit in there, And that's why you get like some good meat. They always say 145 internal temperature. This is for my cook heads out here. 145 internal temperature, depending on how you want your burger or something like that. But if you get it from like a grocery store, if it's factory farmed ground beef, you need it to be 165 to kill all the bacteria. And it's not whether or not it has bacteria. It's that you have to cook it enough to get out the bacteria. So it definitely has it. Crazy shit. Sorry, I'm shifting around so much. My back hurts, ladies and gentlemen. My back hurts. Let's see, what else are we at? That was just all off the top, baby. That was all off the dome. I'll talk about this real quick. Mulan. I did a review. I talked about it. And this is just something following up on what I talked about before on a Mulan review, and also what I said in the podcast about how they were going to lose so much money without the theatrical release and charging 30-something bucks for people to stream it. I said maybe it would have been a better idea to market it to get new watchers, get new subscribers. Not only did they get something like 68,000 new subscribers, they profited over 140 million in the first week domestically. Holy shit. Listen, it had a budget of like 100 million. They made something like 240 in the first week just with a digital release. That is mind-blowing. And not only that, it's pretty incredible because it's actually, they're making more money than they would with a theatrical release because they don't have to, they're not paying for a press tour. They're not paying for splitting that money with the theater. The theaters usually don't make much. The reason why you see popcorn and soda and everything priced so high at theaters because that's how they actually make their money. That's why there's such a markup on it. They're making their money on those sodas. The sodas that cost them like a penny, they're selling them for like $6. That's all profit for them, okay? But yeah, that's pretty insane to me. And, I owe Disney an apology because I was one of the people being like, you fucking idiots. What do you guys know, Disney? You guys are going to do another cash grab. No one's going to buy that shit. Apparently everybody did. Quite a bit of people. And that's only domestically. So I'm sure internationally they made quite a bit more money. And that was in the first week. Yeah, I know it had some issues with China where China was getting mad that it wasn't historically accurate and everything, but who cares? Who cares what China thinks right now, okay? Giving us the fucking China flu. Speaking of the Chinese flu, the one from China, the CDC this morning, apparently, they updated, they revised the precautions on coronavirus, COVID-19. Say it again. Ooh, COVID-19. That's what you say when you want to sound smart. If you're arguing with someone, you would like, thus my speculation on COVID-19. The CDC listed that coronavirus now floats and suspends in air. We're all going to get it. It's what it feels like. And it's like, I don't know listen, I'm all on board for the whole shutdown, lockdown, slow the spread. But at some point, we're reaching a tipping point where the not opening up and not trying to still live with this, it's going to start being worse than the actual disease. A disease, I think we should be putting all of our, like I've said before, our focus on building an immune system that can combat this. And this might be one of the first years that I actually get a flu shot in a long time. I don't think I've gotten a flu shot since nursing school because it was like you had to get it. But that's the only thing, because that is, if we want to get out ahead of this thing, and I haven't done much research on this other than, there's the normal people who are like, don't get the flu vaccine. But the flu vaccine's been around for a long time. It's pretty solid. This is where the issue is with coronavirus and why during the winter, we've kind of been skating, kind of in a dormant place, in what's the word for it? Purgatorial state of our country with coronavirus. We've kind of been holding steady with cases. We haven't really been opening up. But here's also the thing, is that it's been in such a purgatorial state. I just like that word, purgatory. People have been getting antsy. People are starting to, they're starting to train with groups, go to the gym and work out. People are starting to feel a little relaxed. They kind of, since nothing's really changing, they're starting to be like, well, let's just fuck it. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm getting bored. And rightfully so. Listen, rightfully so. I think, there are a lot of people. There's a fucktard lady and probably a husband and wife. Their kid got coronavirus, tested positive. They sent their kid to school that next Monday with COVID-19 because who knows what their decision was, but it was irresponsible. Oh, we have to work. Okay, there's ways to figure out how to get paid while being home taking care of someone with COVID-19. We have laws and things to protect that, so that's not an excuse. You didn't want to take care of your kid. You got tired of being in the pandemic, so you're like, fuck it, send them. I'm not quarantining another week with this kid. It's fucked up, and it's things like that that keep extending this. I also am of the belief that there's a certain point where, especially younger people, it's important for younger people to still socialize and to go out and test themselves and to do certain things that give them fulfillment. I really do believe that. And I know it's hard with this pandemic, and you look at history and you're like, well, Anne Frank did it for 7 years in a fucking attic and shit. And we're like, okay, well, this is the Anne Frank time. All right. Anne Frank would be on Instagram right now. I almost said OnlyFans, but I would not be that disrespectful. It's just that was the joke that came to my mind. I want you to know that I thought of that, but I didn't do it. You have to live in this era, okay? It's hard to compare different ages or eras to different eras. There's so many more variables. But before I get so lost in a fucking weird rabbit hole, I don't have an issue with younger people and people who are healthy going and doing certain things. If they want to go work out, if they want to train, oh, that was so loud in my fucking headphones. If they want to go do the things that give them fulfillment, that's their choice, but they have to know the risk that they're taking. Are they going to get sick? Maybe they catch it. They'll get a little sick. They'll get a cold. They'll get the flu. Just based statistically, younger people aren't going to be an issue. Where you got to be responsible is if you are a younger person going out and doing this, to know who not to be around. Okay, I think that should be a bigger thing. And as we get more information, it kind of feels like that should have been the quarantine. But hindsight, 2020. I think that's a quote, right? Is it 50-50? Hindsight, 100. It's easy to say this now because when this first broke out, we all thought it was the apocalypse. But I do see an issue going forward when people start catching the flu and coronavirus, because that's where most of the deaths have been. And most of the complications when you catch it with something else. That's when it kind of, it's a 1-2 hit. Give it that 2-piece, that 2-piece meal. And that's when people start having issues. there has to be a point where we can't quarantine forever, and we can't, I don't know. There's so many weird variables when you start looking at the fact that it's election year. Some people are starting to try, like I follow like the stimulus talks and everything like that, and the next stimulus check and where money is going to be going and the funding negotiations. It's interesting because it seems like some sides want to hurry up and pass something to get money to the American people. And there's other sides that don't want to. And they want to try to make the world seem as chaotic as possible. So we see a need for change. And that's something that's dangerous. And it's putting an agenda before people. That's the issue that I have with it. I don't really pick a side when it comes to politics. There's things on both sides I think are good, but it's like that you see certain things that are being done and you're like, you are weaponizing a pandemic. You are seeing opportunity and using and baiting people with their livelihood and their freedom and just their peace of mind. Listen, there's people withholding stimulus money and not wanting to pass certain things because they want it to get a lot worse. So people feel like, oh, we really have to vote Trump out. I don't care what your beliefs are about Trump. I don't care what your beliefs are about Biden. There's things going on that are just being divisive and trying to have an agenda. And I'm just like, man, why? These aren't good people. I think we need to like start over with politics, because I'm just like, man, when you're putting your own agenda ahead of the well-being of the country, like that's the thing, isn't that what we're going for, is trying to take care of the people? Like that's your job, to govern the people, to be the best for them. And you see, that's what's crazy, is it's going to get more divisive, I think, going towards the election these next couple months. It's important to like detach. I've detached pretty hard from people on social media when I see them post political stuff. It's more of I just view it and let it go by me, because I'm just like, But it's still absurd when I see things and I'm like, how are you seeing this? How are you still seeing that it's this person, or just a belief in a system that's not there? I'm like, a little bit of research. But it's like, everybody's woke. Everybody's woke now. Woke is so 2019, okay? It's turned into kind of a crazy thing, being woke. It's like a dangerous thing when you start looking at situations and you apply one variable answer to it all. That's the biggest thing I see, is people not looking at the cause effect of like down the road. Shit's wild. Shit is wild. How long we done, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, we hit 35 minutes, baby. We good. I try to keep these kind of short and sweet when I'm by myself, I got like 35 minutes, 30 minutes before shit just falls off the rails, I need something to pop it off, because then I'll just be like, where do we want to go next, Devin? What do we want to talk about? Peter Rabbit, huh? What rabbit hole do you want to go down? Let's see, what else do I got going on? Oh, gonna go look at a computer chair right now because my back's hurting. Listen, I have the Capisco Foley chair, expensive ass chair, but it's just not working for me. I gotta get something. Your boy's editing a lot, sitting a lot during this pandy. I need a good chair. If you have a recommendation, reach out. And remember, no matter what, I still love you. I'll see you on the other side.